Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. In this video it's going to be a bit different than what I usually do. What I'm going to do is show you how to create a scene for your game and just talk over some experiences I had when creating a game or any creation on Dreams. And before we jump into this, I just wanted to say that I have a Discord server, but it's not that active, and I want to try and revive it, so make sure you join it by just going down into the link in the description. Now, sometimes I would get questions from people saying, oh, how do you make a game in Dreams? Or Dreams is so advanced and complicated and I can't do anything in it. Well, Dreams is like Unity, but without the coding. There's no easy shortcuts when making something. People always want to do the easy way. Don't get me wrong, when I first got Dreams, I didn't know what I was doing. And I would sometimes give up on projects that I was making, like this sci-fi game I wanted to make, but I was never doing that. When I was working on Order 666, The Ancient Evil, I didn't even know what I was fucking doing. I was just putting in random stuff and I didn't know what the story was to focus on. But as I kept working on the project, I started to learn from it and I was able to finish it. So yeah, you could say that that game was like a first start in something. Now I'm working on the sequel as you see what I'm doing here. I had to figure out what type of scene I was making before I did any gameplay, because cutscenes make things make it more interesting and not just random stuff put into one. The most frustrating and irritating part about game development is the amount of animations you have to do when it comes to making a cutscene. You had to make so many keyframes for each body part, and when something messes up, you have to fix it. Like, that happens every time I'm doing animations. And the second part is creating the scene before doing animations. Like, animations is what I had the most trouble with every time I make something, but I'll talk about that in another video, like in a future video. Right now, it is time to show you how to make a scene for your game. Like, Dreams is not just for game design, it's mostly used for making short films, art, and anything else. Anyway, let's continue before I get off track. So when you start up Dreams, you go into Dream Shaping and click on New Element. And it brings you to this empty space where there's nothing except this floor that you have to delete. And the cool thing about Dreams is that if you want to find something that you need and you don't have time to make assets yourself, since really not many can sculpt and I can't either, there's a ton of assets that you can find on the search bar by just tapping the square button and going over to the search. Now, some assets are not that great, but you only need the ones that are not gonna look like sloppy shit that you need, like as you see what I'm doing right here as I'm looking for sand. The scene I'm making is the next scene for Order 666 Armageddon, and all I need to use is sand since it's gonna be taken somewhere in the desert. Once you place an object in the scene, you can duplicate it by holding down L1 and R2 to where it makes another copy of the object. One thing you should do to save time is after you copied enough objects, you can hover over them with your imp and hold down the X button to select multiple objects, and then you can duplicate more of them instead of one by one, because that'll take a long time. Now once you're finished with the ground, it's time to set up the scene. What I want to do here is to make sure that the scene is not just a flat surface and it has a lot of design in it. I'm going to be using the headquarters as the main base for the villains, while also adding some mountains to make it more like they're in the middle of the desert, but I also want to make sure that they're not in some empty space of nothing. Now I'm going to add some destroyed buildings to make it more like they're in some ruins. I don't want it to have not just have buildings that looked like or are close to being abandoned or destroyed. And now I'm adding some effects to it by using this giant orb as the main energy source for the base and using lightning for the effects. I had to think about what to put into this because I never really write out what the scene is going to be before I do it. Alright, so I had to fast forward a bit because I don't want to make this video any longer than it should be. But what I want to say is that lights and effects are more important for your scene. Just leaving it as it is will just make it look like it's always daytime, which will make it more shitty. What I'm doing here is that I'm adjusting the lights such as the sun, the colors, and just making it more unique. And to set the tone of the scene so it can tell what it is. Like, say I want the mood of the scene to be dark, then I'll do that. I'll even use the lights to add some effects to stuff to make it look like it's glowing. Now, after adding more stuff into this, I think it looks okay for now. I'm gonna try to finish this off camera, and then I'm gonna start doing the animations for the characters and such. I will talk about animating in a scene in a future video maybe, but for right now, I hope this helped people who are interested on creating a game in Dreams. But what I want to say is, if you get inspired by a creator, don't just copy their work. Make your game original. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you are new. Follow my Twitter because that's where I'm mostly active nowadays. Follow my Instagram, but I barely post anything on there except when I make progress on Order 666 or any other projects I make, especially when it comes to my OCs. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, have a good day, and goodbye.